Hi, today is Christmas Eve, and so I will be making cornbread dressing for tomorrow, and we'll be sharing it with some neighbors and some friends who don't have family out here. So for the dressing, I'm going to need a vegetable broth. So today I'm going to make my homemade vegetable broth. It's very simple. In this pot, I have about 12 cups of water. No, 16. There's 16 cups of water. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently put these carrots in here. Okay? We don't want to plop it because it's boiling and it can burn. Got to be very gentle. And then we're going to do the celery, the onions. I have parsley here. Okay. Here's the celery. I might have to take some of this water out, and I think I'm going to have to. So maybe you just want to do about 12 cups instead. Let me just take a little bit of the water out because it's too high. I'll do about 3 ladles worth. If it gets higher, I'll take more water out. That's a whole onion, white onion. This is 4 potatoes, the peels. You do not want the potato because what will happen is you'll have like a cream soup. And we're not making soup, we're making vegetable broth. And then I'm going to put parsley in here. And I think I am going to take a little more of the water out. Maybe just 2 more. Okay. And then the secret to making it brown is the peels of the onions. So we're going to put that in here. And what I should have done first is add my salt. I have Himalayan sea salt. This is full of minerals. This is going to bring the flavor out. And I may need to add more. You do it according to taste. But you don't want to add too much at one time. Just start off with 1 tablespoon. And then I'm doing a teaspoon of Herbamare. And once again, Herbamare is a mixture of seasonings. Herbamare is a mixture of seasonings, and it gives really good flavor. It's vegetable seasonings. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to a boil, a rapid boil. You always want to put your vegetables in boiling water. This was already boiling. Now we're going to bring it back to a rapid boil. And when that's done boiling, we're going to turn it down and cover it and simmer it for about 40 minutes. Now this is what Herbamare looks like. And this has, let me see if I can read some of these ingredients. It has sea salt, celery, leeks, watercress, onion, chives, forage, parsley, garlic, marjoram, rosemary, thyme, and kelp. Kelp is a seaweed, and forage is just a type of herb, if I'm not mistaken. So this is it, and I put a teaspoon of this, but once again, you can flavor it to taste, but I only start off with 1 tablespoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of Herbamare. Chances are I'm going to need to put more salt and more Herbamare, but it's better to start with little than too much. So, when the product is done in about 40 minutes, we'll be back. Have a good one. Okay, we're back, and as you see, this is the finished product. This is what it looks like. The color is brown, like vegetable broth. It tastes good. I added, you want to do another ½ tablespoon. So 1½ tablespoons of salt, 1½ teaspoons of Herbamare. I drained all of the vegetables, and I'm going to use this for a stew. I'm going to put this in a large Ziploc bag, stick it in the freezer, and then I'm going to use that as a stew and put some cut up potatoes with it as well. Now, something I wanted to say. Some people use nutritional yeast and chicken style seasoning in this. Let me tell you why you do not want to do that. Nutritional yeast is very high in free glutamate, and that messes with the synapses of the brain. It goes through a fermenting process. They make this broth and pour it on top of the flakes. And if you'd like to learn more about yeast flakes, nutritional yeast flakes, send an email to the letter C for Christine, and then biblical, BIBLICAL @yahoo.com, and I'll put the link to the information in the description below the video on YouTube. Another thing people use is soy sauce. Soy sauce is high in MSG. And it's also fermented food, and we don't want to eat fermented foods. We're supposed to eat our fruit and vegetables in as natural state as possible. Cooking them is fine, okay? But as far as putting them through fermentation and chemical process, that's not something that we want to do. So this broth tastes very good, very similar to what you're going to find in the grocery stores. Very simple to make. The only process is when it comes to a boil and then it simmers for about 35-40 minutes. So brothers and sisters and friends and family, as you see, we have some wonderful vegetable broth, and when I make the cornbread dressing, I will let you see what it looks like when the product is finished. So remember, God wants us to be in health, we're told in 3 John 2. Until we meet again, may the good Lord bless and keep each and every one of you. Bye-bye.